Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Black Expat, and I'm laughing because I have tried to retake this video so many times because it just didn't seem right to me. But I am not redoing this video anymore. I am ready to get started. My channel specifically started out with my adventures overseas, but more recently, all of my videos have transpired into speaking into the lives of women, especially single mothers, in regards to life, love, and purpose. My goal is to share my story, my testimony, and my experiences to help the next woman succeed in life. And so with that, I want to talk today about how to know that you still have an unhealed heart. Now, from my experiences, I have jumped into relationship after relationship without healing. And in the end, I've realized that I've jeopardized not only myself, but the relationship. Something that could have possibly been a really good outcome, but I jeopardized it because I was still hurting from my previous relationships. I didn't give myself time to heal. I jumped into it because I was trying to fill a void that I did not look within myself to fulfill. There was this emptiness, and I was seeking validation from men and seeking attention and seeking some love from this relationship, some wholeness that was already within me, but I didn't know how to tap into it. And so that caused me to move on and eventually create a lot of havoc in my life, a lot of bitterness, a lot of brokenness, a lot of premature relationships and relationships that ended early that could have been something more than what I attained for it to be. I just want to share with you 3 things that I feel are very strong signs that you have an unhealed heart. And maybe you should consider these 3 signs before you consider getting into another relationship. Or maybe you're in a relationship now and you feel like you're suffering from an unhealed heart, but you are wanting to reconcile that relationship, and you're willing to make some changes in your life to make sure that you can keep and maintain what it is that you want. You know, we as single women, especially, we want to be in a marriage. You know, we want a partnership. No, I don't believe in the idolizing a marriage or a boyfriend or a partnership. But I think that's the way God created us as women, to want to be connected and want to be one. And that's what God wants for us as well. And so in order for us to move on into happy, healthy, successful, and prosperous relationships with men, we need to first check ourselves and make sure we are in a healthy place within our emotions, within our mental space, within our physical bodies, within our spiritual lives, to make sure that we can accommodate those healthy relationships. So I want to talk about the 3 things that I recognize within myself. Number 1, the expectation to fail. How many times have we got into a relationship and automatically expect for that person to fail us in some type of way? We automatically put them in the same category as our ex or whoever it was that hurt us, our situationship, and we're already expecting that person to fail. We don't give them a chance. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt. We automatically say that they're guilty by association. We automatically say, okay, they're too young, so they're probably going to do this, or he grew up this way, is probably going to do that, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever label that you've already put on him has already devalued the relationship, because you haven't allowed yourself to start a fresh slate, if you will, and consider that man for who he is and not who every other man that you've been with or experience that you've had to directly influence your thoughts or your perceptions about this man. Give him a chance. Give him a chance to prove himself. Of course, he can speak with words and possibly show actions temporarily, but it's the man's character that follows him and really tells a lot. You know, how is he behind closed doors? How is he with other people? How does he treat you in times of challenge? But do not expect him to fail. Give him a chance. Number 2, you're afraid to love, or you are afraid to be loved. You're afraid of commitment. You have these high walls up that nobody can seem to get over. You are afraid to love because you're afraid to get your heart broken again. You're afraid to accept love. You're afraid to allow someone to love you because you don't know if they can love you the way that you want to be loved. You have been hurt so many times and you feel that, you can't really take another heartbreak. So I'm not going to give my whole self to this person, because if I do, then I'm going to be hurt and broken. And again, that is under that expectation of fail, because you're expecting this person to fail you in some way. Now, everybody's human. You're human. He's human. We all are human. So we're going to make mistakes. He's not perfect. You're not perfect, and he's not going to do everything that you want him to do. We're not robots, and sometimes you have to learn the art of forgiveness. And that's something that I have had to work myself through continuously, is learning how to forgive. But being afraid to love is really shutting yourself out. You're not giving your all, and whatever energy you put out there is the energy that you're going to get back. So if you're giving partial energy, you're going to get partial energy back. And then you're going to be upset and angry and bitter because he's not loving you the way you want. But in actuality, you're not loving him fully. Even if he doesn't know how to really love you, you do your best to show love, and know and trust that God is going to protect your heart. God is going to see you through, and he's going to give you discernment on what to do. Don't idolize the man. Pray, seek God in everything. Also, date with intention. Date with the intention that you are going after what it is that you want. If it's that you want to be a wife, date with the intention and be very clear up front, so there won't be any misunderstandings or disappointments in the end. Telling that man what it is that you want, what it is that you are looking for, and don't play the games of, well, I kind of want this or I kind of want that. Be very clear, so that if this is not the man that wants to marry or is willing to commit to you in that way, that will be very clear early on in the relationship. Don't be afraid to love. And love is in the Bible. It tells us that, love is patient, it's kind. And we have to lead by example. Maybe that man doesn't know how to love because he's been in broken relationships, or maybe he grew up in a family that did not show him love in the way that you were showed love. So you leading by example, by showing him how to love you, or showing him how to give and receive love, will help. And you're doing right by God. God wants you to treat each and every person by the fruits of the Spirit. And love is one of the number one things that we can do, is to show love. So open your heart, woman of God, and it's okay. And trust and believe that God will protect your heart if that is not the man for you. Number 3 is watch your words and your actions. That also shows that you have an unhealed heart. You going around being very jealous and insecure about who he's talking to, where he is, what he's doing, why he didn't say this, why didn't he compliment you on that. Those are really clear signs of insecurity. It's clear signs of jealousy, bitterness, anger, and fear. And that's all self-sabotage. You have to understand and believe who you are and whose you are, and that you were created to be a very special, unique woman, and that you're not like his ex or any other woman that he's dealt with, that you're one of a kind, and lift your head to believe that you're one of a kind, that you aren't out here to compare yourself with his past, that you are now in his future, and he's chosen you for a reason. And so holding on to the pain from the past because your ex-boyfriend cheated on you, or he had a wandering eye, or he didn't treat you the way you wanted to, doesn't give you an excuse to put that same defense mode to this new man in your life. Don't automatically assume that he's out to get you, out to hurt you, out to break your heart. And, unless he's given reason as to why you should be why you should be angry, those emotions are fruits of the flesh. It's allowing your flesh to control your outcome. And in order for us to move forward in the things that God has for us, we have to lead by the fruits of the Spirit. And the fruits of the Spirit will help us to treat that man in a way that we would want to be treated ourselves. So the jealousy, the rage, the bitterness, the strife, the stress, the dissension, everything that it says. I believe it is in Galatians 5, chapter 5, 16 through, I don't remember. I'm just keeping it real. I want to say 16 through 22, but I don't remember. It really spoke to my heart today because I have been dealing with the same thing. I have been really mismanaging the way that I'm using my mouth. And when I say that, just, really not having control over the things that I say, cussing and, just having a foul mouth. And I've done that in the past, and I saw that those same acts of the flesh were trying to come back to attack me. And I realized that it was only bringing poison and toxics into my spirit and not helping the relationship, nor was it helping me. So I had to learn to lead by the fruit of the Spirit, because that was bringing more peace, more clarity, more guidance. And that is what God is expecting of me in order to move forward. In order for him to bless me in the way that I'm expecting him to bless me, I cannot be out here doing my thing and having lack of self-control and being led by my flesh. And women of God, that's the same thing in these relationships. If you are allowing your flesh to get the best of you, it's going to sabotage the relationship. So these are 3 things. I know there's other things that are aspects of unhealed hearts. Remember that hurt people hurt people. So do yourself a favor and everyone else around you. Take some time to heal. Take some time to really get close to God. Take some time to really get yourself in a place of self-acceptance and wholeness, because you cannot expect for this man to fill any gaps in your life. You have to know that everything comes within you. Love comes within you. Peace comes within you. Clarity comes within you. Wisdom comes within you. God is within you. And to know that you are seeking for a mate, but this man is not to fill that gap, but he is to complement you. And sometimes we have to give the men in our lives a little bit of slack and not be on such a defense mode. Yes, we've been hurt. I've been broken, and I've dealt with my share of pain. Believe me, but I have had to learn the hard way that I cannot keep putting pain on other people and expect to get positive in return. I have got to stop and start showing love, kindness, joy, peace, and the love of God to get what it is that I'm expecting to receive back. I hope that you found something in this message. I hope that you can apply it if you are in a relationship or not. Something to consider prior to jumping into the next relationship. Remember, give yourself time to heal. Ask God what it is that you need to do to heal in your heart. And I pray right now that you have the peace, the joy, and the restoration in your spirit to move forward in love and in purpose.